Hello, everybody, and you're welcome to another episode of the 40 podcast, Lessons on Life, Loss, and Love. I hope you've enjoyed the few episodes that we have premiered so far. On today's episode, I have my very good friend and my sister. We call each other the N word. If you know, you know. Welcome, Temitope Omotosho. How you doing?
Hi, thank you for having me.
So, Expo, she actually featured on the another of our podcasts, the Coffee and Beans podcast, but talking about an entrepreneurship journey and all that. But I mean, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about life as a 40-year-old. So, and then congrats on turning 40.
Thank you.
So, I mean, like I always ask all my guests, how's growing up for you? I mean, because I realize that as we grow older, we there's some certain mindsets that we picked up along the way, and it's usually a result of things we've seen, things we saw while growing up, things we learned from our parents. So I know you to be hardworking, a go-getter, a determined person. How was your upbringing, your childhood? How did that tie into what you do now and who you are right now as Tosh? Let's start from there.
First, I grew up in a loving family of sisters. I have 5
all girls.
sisters. Yes.
Wow.
5. We have a brother.
Oh, okay.
So it was more like a girls'
hostel.
And we're pretty much friends. We had few friends when we started getting into the higher institution, but in our younger years, we're just friends with one another.
Right.
So I grew up in that kind of family.
Yeah.
Yes, and I grew up in a large family where my dad is a family guy, so we had a lot of cousins and relatives. It was a big family. At some point, we were about 13.
What, like in the house?
Yes, in the house.
Wow.
So that's how I grew up.
In Lagos?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I need to know whether in a village.
No, it's in Lagos. So my dad he's big on family.
Family, yeah.
And love and all of that. So anyway, to support.
Was it like the Olori Abi or something? Like Olori Abi means like the head of the family?
Yeah, it's the first.
First, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we see first who choose their own, but yeah, it's a family guy.
Right.
It's a typical family person. So
right.
that's how I grew up.
Okay, like so like, which was my follow-up question. Like, how did the values that you hold dear to now, especially when it comes to work, determination, go-getting, making sure that I mean, you mentioned on the Coffee and Beans podcast how you started with jewelry. That you told yourself, you can't stay idle. You must be doing something with your hands. How did that come about? With if you tie that to your upbringing.
Okay. Like I mentioned, I grew up in a very large family, cousins and relatives. I know my dad was used to work in a bank. I mean, he worked in a bank for 30 something years before he retired as a bank manager.
Okay.
So I knew him to wake up before 4 o'clock. He'll be up at a point. His branch was in Agbara, and you would have to travel.
Agbara is in another state.
Yes.
Yeah.
Every day.
Wow.
So
And you come home every day.
Yes, it would.
Wow.
It would. So it'll be up by 4. By 4:30, I'm up. Because my sisters, I went to a boarding school initially, then I came back home.
Okay.
So I'm up 4:30 to read. Exams or no exams, you have to read in the morning. Yeah. So that's how I grew up. So you read in the morning, 4:30 to maybe 5 or 5. He leaves the house and he comes back very late in the night. So that was his routine.
Yeah.
I saw him walk his,
is behind off. Yeah.
Exactly. I saw him every day to ensure that we had a good life. And we put to good schools and we become somebody. He would often say that I owe you your education,
yeah,
to whatever level you want to get to. And that's all he did. My dad never really had a social life. He didn't really have friends. He never joined club. he never really did any of those social activities, and he just lived for us.
Mm.
Let me put it that way.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
lived for us. That's all he did.
Amazing. So now that you are grown and he do you feel that responsibility that no, I need to take care of you because you've invested so much in us, that feeling of I think I owe my dad for all he has given me. Do you feel that?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I mean, I see that you're actually very close to your dad.
Oh, he's my best.
I mean, that's amazing. I didn't share that luxury. My dad never hugged me. My dad never said he loved us. So I mean, I always envy parents. I always envy people who say, oh, their dad is like chummy and all of that.
You're a good bond with your mom now.
Yeah, I mean, of course. So it's a. I mean, in this conversation, I've not heard you talk about your mom. What's up with your mom?
Okay, so my parents were separated when we were young.
Oh wow.
So shuttle between my dad
and
my
your mom.
Yes. So we share that. My mom at the restaurant in Lagos Island. So,
wow.
So for her too, she was a very busy person. We go to Lagos Island in the morning, running a restaurant, food business. People say it's not easy now. It has never been easy. So she would do that from morning till night. So both my parents were really.
But did you understand what was going on? I mean, that you were shuttling for two places, and even if you were you cool with that arrangement, or did you wish, I wish my parents were back together, or did you feel like I need to love one person more than the other, or how was it?
I think I'd always been a daddy's girl, really. So a few times I'd say I want to see my mom because I had a stepmom of blessed memory.
Yeah.
I'd say I want to be with my mom. I'd go to my mom.
Right.
I'm back to my mom.
Yeah.
And I'm saying I want to see my dad.
Yeah.
And it's always that
back and forth. Yeah.
Both of them. So they didn't mind. They know that I was what would I say? I wouldn't say I was a soft child. I was a very doting child.
Doting, yeah.
So, yes. So that love thing had me on
lockdown
between both of them. So I shuttle my dad and my mom.
Yeah.
It was okay for them. I mean, it was okay for them. I don't think they really minded. But at some point, I needed to focus on my studies.
Yeah.
I think it caused a lot of distraction for me.
The going back and forth.
Yeah. So they decided to put me, in a boarding school. So, and because I was a very brilliant kid. I'm still brilliant, by the way.
Shout out to you.
So I got into secondary school at I was 8 years old.
Oh wow.
And yes, they shipped me down to Ocean State, St. Mary's Grammar School in Iwo. My sister
in Iwo. Okay, Iwo is in Ocean State. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
My sister had to do Unity School, Ushogbo. My other sister did Olivet Baptist High School.
Nobody did Lagos.
Oyo. I came back.
You came back. Were you the only one that came back to Lagos?
I was the only one. So maybe if we were in the same school, I wouldn't feel.
Yeah. Yes. I feel so too.
So it was tough for me knowing that I was my parents' baby.
So they had to ship you back.
So first year it was a struggle. Second year, we'll just bring them back. So I was the only one that came back.
Okay, so I mean that's an amazing story, because they say that children who live in what's the word now? I said this in inverted commas, broken homes usually have either daddy issues or mommy issues, or are not well rounded. What do you say to that?
I don't think that's always the case. For me, I'd like to think that I was a daddy's girl. I loved my dad. I mean, if you see my dad, I'm like his split image.
Yeah. And it's such a cool dude, man. Yeah.
Cool. So I didn't have that. I mean, broken. What did you say?
That broken home drama where daddy issues, mommy issues. They say because you didn't grow up in a well-rounded home per se.
I don't know what people mean by well-rounded. We see people who have both parents, they live together
and they
struggle
and still struggle. Yeah.
Yes, I mean your parents can be in the house physically, but they're not there.
They're not there
emotionally, no support whatsoever. So I don't think it's a function of
Yeah.
that. I think it's a function of how the parents can co-parent
Yeah.
you in a healthy way,
Yeah.
and it still come out best.
Great. I mean, let's circle back and do an overview of the last 4 decades. I mean,
Yeah.
as you as a person, the constant metamorphosis, constant evolution from growing up, I mean, childhood to working to the different from being an employee to being self-employed to being an employer. What would you say has been one thing that you have learned? I mean, it could be more than one. As in the last 4 decades of your life. I mean, I know I put you on the spot because I don't send questions across because everybody has to talk from their mind. I don't want anything rehearsed. What would you say is that one thing that life has taught you in the last 4 decades, and one thing that you feel has become your mantra?
The grace of God. I had a photo shoot a few days back, and I'm trying to wrap my tears, and I was in tears. Not because of anything, but because I'm grateful to God.
Yeah.
Life is harsh. Life can be battle. You'd sometimes feel that you have everything figured out.
Yeah.
This is how my life is going. By 16, I've graduated from secondary. By this age, by this. I used to see that by 26, I would have become a professor because the way my education was really very fast and everything. Just put everything out. I've marked it up. Like, this is how my life would be. And my life trajectory didn't go.
It has gone. It didn't
go the way I planned it.
Yeah.
And they call some people what's this word now? Late bloomers.
Late bloomers, yeah.
Yes. I'd like to think I'm one of those. And when I come big.
Yeah.
But I don't come when you think I'm coming. I've never come. I'm sure. And it has taught me to rely so much on God.
On God, yeah, for everything.
Like, this is how I plan, this is how this year would go. And God has His own plan, always has His own plan, which is always so much better than what I've ever envisaged. Sometimes I write down my goals and I'm saying, Lord, this year, this is what I'm doing, this is what it just takes a complete 360. And I'm like, wow, how did this even happen?
Yeah.
So now in my
40s, yeah,
I've learned to completely surrender.
Trust God. Yeah.
Surrender, because my prayers is, Lord, just put me in your will for my life, your plans for my life. Just show it to me, because you can do all of these things and just waste your time.
Yeah.
And because I'm a very stubborn person, right? Even when I see that this thing, I'll still be pushing, because when they say that people that are very smart, always have a tough, their walk with God.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you're trying to be logical, you're trying to use your brain, use your, you keep doing that and you keep wasting your time. To completely surrender to God, to say, whatever you want to do with me, do. I beg, I don't tire. So I got to that point where I knew that there's nothing I can do by myself. Honestly, I can have the will. The Holy Spirit might put a thought in my heart and He will back me up. But then I just left everything to God. So my 100% reliance on God, is my source. The things that, the significant things that have happened in my life has always been God. I always tied. There's no way I can look at my life journey and not tie the amazing things that have happened to me to the guidance of God. No way. Everything. I can tell you at what point this happened. I can tell you at what point that happened. I can tell you how, I can tell you everything. Like, it has always been God's guidance.
Yeah.
And sometimes because I'm very stubborn, like I mentioned, I'll know that there's nothing in it. But I'll still suffer myself, and I'm like, okay, I'm back.
Yeah.
Like a prodigal daughter.
I mean, I can absolutely relate with what you say about plans going left, because I remember starting from, secondary school, just like you, I started secondary school at 7. In my mind, so I finished secondary school at 14, and I was thinking, the following year I'll enter university, I'll do my masters, blah blah blah. Ended up the first change in plan was I spent 4 years at home. Not because I was not smart, not because I didn't pass JAMB. It just so happened that I think God decided to just put the stop button on. He says, "Guy, you're going too fast." And since then, I found out that my path is not necessarily the path everybody follows.
Right.
And so I absolutely understand. So let me ask you a question. Like, you're an international event planner. You mentor lots of people in the event planning space. Right. You've achieved a lot. But in this our society where, once they check, she get husband, it's like everything that you've done it pales in comparison. How does that make you feel? Has that ever made you be in a rush to say, let me just find anybody that is close? So I know you, but because for our audience that don't really know you, please, and for that person who is listening to this podcast, that lady listen to this podcast that achieved a lot, but the marital side, we're still searching. But it just seems like everybody seems to judge you by that one thing. What has been your mindset, and how do you speak to that lady who is going through that same situation?
I'm no longer searching, by the way.
Yes, of course. Shout out. But yeah, you get what I mean. Yeah.
I'm a very confident woman. Very confident, absolutely confident, and it's not something that started today or yesterday or something I built along the way. Like I mentioned, my parents are strong people. Yeah. Surrounded with strong people. I was raised by strong, my mom is strong, my dad is strong, my powerful people. So my self-esteem has never been in doubt. I've never had to double check who I am or who God says I am. If you walk with God, you know that it will happen. I don't know. It's in God's hands. Yeah. Nobody can dictate how my life will be. Nobody can tell me how my life will go. Nobody has that power. You're not even that powerful to tell me that because I'm not married. It's not a marriage that will decide how my life will go. It's not, I attend Covenant
Christian Center. Covenant Nation. Yeah.
No, my pastor. When the pastor got to get married, and look at how his ministry grew so much, even without marriage, without being married. Yeah. Marriage did not stop him. It did not hinder his destiny. It didn't dictate how far or how long or how impactful his ministry. Yeah. So I think that it's also important who mentors you. If you had a very rough background and all of that, it's important for you to help yourself, build yourself, and know choose the right people, the right circle. Who do you listen to? Who do you work with? Who are your friends? That will help you. Just look back. You won't even know something is changing. Your life will keep changing, and you look back and wow, I'm not where I used to be. Yeah. Mentally, psychologically, in other aspects of your life. Marriage does not determine. I plan weddings. Yep. I interact with. You're not going to get married to my husband. That's your husband. So what's I don't get it. So I've never had to experience that. Yeah. Maybe you don't say it to me because you know that. Like you exude that confidence. Yeah. Please. Yeah. You're an achiever. You're wise. You grow your own business. You do your own thing. Yeah. Nothing should stop you. I see people say, when I now marry, I'm a buy car, so they don't. Please, anything you want to do, marry. Honestly, it's disheartening. I'm not saying I've not seen it, that you're caged because you think that when your man comes, or maybe the man, if I buy a big car now, the man. It will intimidate the man, or it will. If he's intimidated, then it wasn't for you. Yeah. It's not the man. Yeah. Nobody's fragile ego should make you small or make you undermine what God has put inside of you. Absolutely. I won't reduce for anybody. Yeah. I think one lesson I would learn from what you said is while you are
waiting in that particular aspect. Develop yourself in other areas. As somebody said, if you met you, would you want to marry you? And I think that's actually a golden nugget there. As we start to wind down, I mean, I would always ask my guests, as you look to the future, I see that you're a woman of faith. So as you look to the future for the next, let's say, 40 years, what do you see? How do you see the next 40 years? What sort of lessons do you hope to learn? What sort of things do you hope to achieve in the next 40 years? So when we do the 80 podcast, amen. Yeah, when we do the 80 podcast, we're talking about, I said this when I was 40 and that.
To be a woman helped by God, like people will point to me and say, that one is helped by God, that one supported by God, that one backed up by God. She waited on God for everything, and He never failed her. They can point to you to say that, if you remember her, if you know her story, if you read her book, you would have known that this is how she can be a pointer to younger people younger generation, to say that you can do it regardless of where you come from. You can achieve it. You can dream big. There's no limitation to how big your dreams can be. It's only your mind that can reduce that. But explore. Just take it. They say, what do they call them now? In your dreams. Yes, in your dreams. In your dreams, dream those.
Dream big.
Just there's no limitation. There's no stopping you.
And dreaming is free. So
what's the worst that can happen?
Yeah.
So I'd like to think that in the next 40 years, my children will be like, oh my God, Mommy, you're the best. You raised us right, because I've also picked up lessons. Yeah. In growing challenges have made me strong. You see, I'm not a strong woman, I beg you. No, but I've had to grow through so many tough times. Growth is painful. Yeah, it is. Just put it that way. Growth is painful. If you really want to grow, you know that it comes with a lot of test and pressure. It comes with that. It's not going to be a walk in the park, or it's not going to drop on your table. You have to put in the work. Amazing. When do you turn 40? 24th of February.
So what plans do you have?
No plans. I'm not a party person.
So guys, she says that every year, and the next thing I get an invite that they force me to. But don't worry. Even if they are, we'll keep it on that wraps. We don't want
last year was the whole surprise. It surprised me, but I honestly I just want to stay with God.
Yeah.
To revel in his majesty. To thank Him. I'm really thankful.
Yeah, I see that. I see that.
I battled a lot. I remember when I graduated and I had 2 or 3 friends, and everybody seemed to like serve. They've gone to serve. They started working. I was still dealing with missing script. Imagine that.
Wow.
Yes. So I had to come back to write the script. I wrote the script, and I wrote the. I retook it.
Then they now found the script.
Yes. Imagine wasting my time like that.
Wow.
So my friends have gone on to serve. They started working, and I was still there, hoping that they'll call me for service. One day I was outside my dad's house, and this thought just came like, "You're useless. Look at everybody. They've left you behind. Why not jump?" I'm not even joking.
Wow.
I heard it twice. Just jump and end it. How old was I then? That pressure would become so much that I would think to take my own life. But look at me here. Look at what would have gone. Look at how I would have wasted this. Just because I couldn't go for service. There are people who didn't even go to school, and they are doing great things, making impact in the world. So I've had to deal with some of those things.
Wow.
But glory be to God. So I'm thankful. In the course of my work, I remember one event I had to travel to Ibadan to. And we had an accident. A truck just came and pushed us over the cliff.
Wow.
It was bad. I'm here today. God saved me. So many things to be grateful. So many reasons to be grateful to God. So many reasons.
Wow. I'm just sitting here in awe as to how I mean, I could share similar experiences. You know, I told you about the period where I had the 4-year break, and I had people who, in fact, I have classmates right now who when I was, and in fact, my seatmate was about to go for, I think, service when I got into first year. And you know those same thoughts that tell you that see you know you've wasted your life, but I realized that the 4-year wait was important for me. In fact, what I do now, this podcast I'm on now, it was more of training myself because I had a bad stuttering problem. Like I couldn't put 2 sentences together. So that period of 4 years was when, you know, I went through a bit of therapy. I knew how to I got a love for music. My brother would say, you know what, write down the pen down the thoughts you have in your head and recite them, speak them back to yourself. It will help with your speech. And I feel like that period
prepared you for now.
Literally, since that 4-year period, I've never had that much of a break before. It's been one thing on the other, one thing on the other, one thing on the other. And so this goes out to everybody who is going through that waiting period. You feel like everybody has gone ahead of you and you are still here. There's a reason why all that is happening. We just need to find a new perspective to every issue. And so I just want to say thank you for coming as a guest. Any parting shots for our listeners and fans of Tosh?
Do not give up.
Yeah.
Be resilient. I mean, it gets tiring. Take a break if you have to cry. If you have to, it's okay. God understands. And don't be too hard on yourself. Life it's long. It's a journey. It's a journey.
Yeah.
So you can take a break. Meaning nobody can dictate how your life will go. Nobody can tell you how, only God understands it. Just enjoy the journey and don't be too hard on yourself, because sometimes people overthink, they over worry, and by the time that blessings come, they're nursing with sickness, one thing or the other, because they've you know what I mean. Just enjoy it. It's a phase. It always fizzle out. Believe me. He always does. He always does. He always does.
Anyways, happy 40th.
Thank you.
And I wish you the very best in everything. Just watching your growth and then watching you evolve has been fantastic to see. All I have to say is well done.
Thank you.
Well done. So that's it, guys. You were listening to the 40 podcast, lessons on life, loss, and love. And my name is Adeshola Balogun, and you can find me on Instagram at Adeshola. ADESOLA_Balogun. Where can we find you on Instagram, Tosh?
At Tosh Events.
At Tosh Events, TOSH Events. So guys, till the next episode, talk to you guys soon. Stay blessed. Peace.